Hey guys.
Hey.
So today we want to explore why credit cards are better than debit cards when it comes to spending.
So on this channel we usually talk to you guys about becoming debt free, and that's absolutely important. But what it's just use this video to talk about some of the core advantages that using a credit card has over using a debit card. Now, of course, like anything in the world, things have pros and cons. So we also want to flag to you guys the real important dangers of also using credit cards.
If this sounds good to you guys, hit that like button and let us know that you're enjoying this video.
Yep, let's jump straight in. Right, so we're going to start with the advantages of credit cards over debit cards. So what's our first one?
Cashback and rewards.
Okay.
Now this is one of the more popular reasons for getting a credit card, and for us this was one of the reasons why we are using a credit card today. So we were able to fly business class to St. Lucia as a family last year using the points that we accrued using our credit card. Now to be specific, these are Avios points which we collected using our Amex card, and you can find out about that same card we use clicking on the link above and below to check it out for yourself. Now we've carried on collecting points, and we are looking forward to using our Avios points which we've collected to again travel this year to Ghana and to Barbados.
And that's super fortunate, because without those points, to be honest, we would not be booking those flights at kind of business class as well as premium economy for one of them. So those Avios points have been a complete lifesaver.
Amazing for us.
If you want to see, learn more about this, we've made a specific video. I'll link to that video below as well as above for you guys to check out. Okay, so the second advantage of using a credit card over a debit card is purchase protection, okay? So if you make a purchase on your credit card of between £100 and up to £30,000, there are certain protections that you have compared to if you use a debit card to make that purchase. These protections come under what's known as Section 75 of the Consumer Credit Act. This essentially means that if you make a purchase using your credit card and something goes wrong, then you can get your money back, okay? So up on the screen, guys, are examples for when you are actually covered by Section 75. So first one I've put there is holidays, because I know a lot of people might not actually know this, but with holidays, where a retailer or a trader goes bust, for example, or goes into administration, before you've actually received your service or thing that you purchased, you can go ahead and claim your money back, okay? A second one's missold items. So let's say you bought something and the thing you bought was perhaps missold and doesn't match the description for what you bought. Again, this would be a good case for using this, and was invoking this Section 75 of the Consumer Credit Act. Next is missing. If you purchase an item and it's missing, let's say you've bought something, you haven't received it, but you've actually paid for it, that's another reason why you can do it. Another one's deposit. You've put down a deposit for something, an item, for example, and then you go ahead and pay full price for that item eventually. You get complete coverage for the full amount that you've paid, not just the deposit element. And the final one is for faulty and damaged goods. Now, this happens to everyone. You purchase something, it shows up, it might perhaps be damaged or faulty. Again, if you're not going to be getting a full refund, for example, or a replacement, then this Section 75 is something that's in your corner when it comes to getting a bit of a refund. Now, saying that though, there are things not covered. Again, I'll put these up on the screen for us to take a look at. If you make a purchase below £100 or over £30,000, you don't get covered. If you buy in cash, let's say you have your credit card and you go to the cash machine and withdraw cash and make that purchase using cash, it's not covered if you did that. If you purchase items that are non-single items, I'm giving you guys here up on the screen an example. Let's say you went and bought 2 pairs of trainers for £80 each, okay, total £160. But you're required to make single purchases of between £100 and £30,000. In this case, your single purchase would be £80 and would be below that £100, and so therefore would not count in this scenario. Or you make third-party purchases. So if you don't make the purchase directly, you do it via a third party, you're also not covered by this particular act. Then the final 2 points are you can have some excluded items. Not everything's covered. For example, if you bought a plot of land, that's not covered by this particular act. And finally, if you're not the main card holder, it's not covered as well. Or for example, if you purchase an item for somebody else and put it on their name, again, that particular purchase is not covered by this act. But overall, as you can see, there are so many cases where, so many benefits where a credit card purchase is actually much more of an advantage compared to a debit card purchase.
Absolutely. Next is to help boost your credit. Now, this is another popular reason and another reason why we use a credit card when we wanted to buy our property and increase our credit score. So if you use a credit card and you demonstrate responsibility with it, you will improve your credit score over time. What we mean is if your credit limit is, say, £1,000 and you spend 30% of it, say, each month, and also pay it off monthly without fail, i.e. no missed payments, it will help to boost your credit over time. So check out our YouTube video on how to boost your credit score to reach that perfect 999. Check it out, we're going to link to it above and below.
Okay, and the next advantage is interest-free borrowing. So I'm sure we all know that you can borrow with a credit card 0% interest-free. Now you can do this provided you pay your minimum payments on that credit card. Now we do have to stress caution, of course, because when you hear the word free, you're thinking, yeah, this might be free money. It's not free money. No. You do have to pay the money back, and that interest-free period does end. Although some people kind of shift from one card to another and to another, but it does end eventually, and you do definitely have to pay that money back. But you've got that advantage, at least, of having an interest-free period for the borrowing on a credit card.
The key is it's for a period.
Yeah. All right, let's shift gears to the disadvantages of a credit card over a debit card. What's our first one?
So the first one is getting hooked on debt.
Yeah.
Now, it is very easy to let your debt spiral out of control. It's very common for people to miss their payments on their credit cards and as a result be subject to high interest on their credit card. So this is why we advocate that you only use a credit card if you have that money saved, set aside for that purchase that you are able to pay back in the future when you need to.
Yeah, so effectively use it for planned expenditure.
Absolutely.
Is really the ideal best case scenario. That's really what you want to try and do. All right, so the next point is additional fees. So definitely worth mentioning that typically with a credit card, you're thinking about the interest payments, but there are other fees that you typically have to pay on a credit card. For example, there are annual fees you pay. We use the British Airways American Express Premium Plus card, and that card attracts a fee of £250 per year. Now, for us, we're okay paying that because for us, the benefits far outweigh the cost. For us, we save thousands and thousands of pounds to fly, a different class on an aeroplane, for example, just for a bit of fun, to have a different experience. But we're happy kind of giving up, saving thousands of pounds here, maybe giving up £250 per year. So for you have to almost weigh those up, that benefit versus that cost, to see if it's the sort of thing you might be happy incurring if you use a credit card for your purchases. Now, there are also other fees such as balance transfer fees, or some providers might also charge you a fee for exceeding the credit limit that you have on your credit card. To that end, you should definitely be checking the APR, the annual percentage rate of your credit card, to get an overall picture of the total cost of using that credit card.
Okay, so number 3 is limited use in some cases. So some people might not be aware, but credit cards charges you for certain things that would be free if you were to use a debit card. For example, using your credit card abroad or withdrawing cash from a cash machine.
Okay, so the next one is it can have a negative impact on your credit score. Okay, so credit scores go up and down. Okay, and if you misuse a credit card, for example, if you missed payments on your credit card, that will have an adverse effect on your credit score and overall rating, which might then have a knock-on effect on things such as if you were to go out there and perhaps try and borrow money for, take out a mortgage for purchasing a property. That knock-on effect could actually affect you in a negative way. This is an obvious point, but one definitely worth watching out. Credit cards can help you boost your credit, but it can also help to damage your credit if you don't handle a credit card properly. In conclusion, using a credit card instead of a debit card has many advantages as well as some disadvantages. Overall, we maintain the policy of being absolutely debt-free where possible, okay? In our case, we use credit cards, but we use them purely because we are able to actually manage our finances. So if you're someone who is currently in debt, taking on even more debt if you're particularly not good at managing your finances is not a good idea. However, you can explore using credit cards and use them sensibly if you've done things like setting up a direct debit to your bank to make sure that you absolutely, under no circumstances, miss your monthly payment. It comes out automatically. Having those controls in place makes using a credit card a good thing, because you're then able to actually use it for planned expenditure, as we mentioned, because you already have that money put aside, but you also get the benefits that we've talked about on this video that you get by using a credit card, okay?
So guys, we'd love to hear from you in the comments. What's your personal experience of using a credit card? Do you think it's a good thing to use a credit card or a bad thing? Let us know and we'll jump in the comments and have a discussion about it.
Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. And as always, in all things, be thankful and seek joy.
Take care,
Take care, people. Bye.